fine spirits meet. And today we have the Paul John Oloroso Select Cask. The Select Cask, I think I already have one or two of these here in my cask, and they are a series. This is like their special series, Select Cask, where they select individual casks and release them. They even had an age statement whiskey brought out, but it was only a 7-year-old, I think, but it was already very, very oaky. Just be in mind, Paul John is an Indian single malt whiskey distillery from Goa. If you don't know the Goa region, it's kind of like a mixture between Hawaii and Florida, so you kind of get the climate that's going on there. They have a cellar where they store that. It's still really, really warm, and they lose a lot of angel's share. Also, they have a very, very fast additive maturation, and so they don't really have these maturation that are very long, and you can oxidize a lot and it doesn't evaporate, so they lose a lot. They have a lot of additive maturations. That's why the Indian single malts are younger and still very comparable in strength to their Scotch counterparts, even stronger, but still in the additive part. So you have a lot more fruitiness, oakiness and a lot of spiciness, but they don't tend to be as round. They tend to be a bit more rough than what we know from the Scotch world. Let me show you. Oh, that camera is still off. And then I'll show it to you in my close-up. Here you have a nice box with the bottle inside, and let me show you the bottle. They are really, really, really high bottles. So I just fit them in my screen here, and they don't fit into my storage very well, so that's why they always like a bit sideways. And yeah, it's a bit unpractical. I just had to search for it, and it was in the other cupboard because it didn't have any space anymore. This time we have Oloroso sherry cask with 48% ABV. Yes, they do a little bit more ABVs. I think because of this warm climate they have in India there, they don't have a trouble with high or low alcoholic ABVs, but they do have a trouble with just losing all of it due to the angel's share. It's a no age statement whiskey, and if you look at the color, it's a deep amber color, and I don't think that they're does not contain any added flavor or color. So yes, this is a natural colored whiskey, and it's really, really deep in color. That's because it's just the oak is working so hard with the temperatures that you have a lot of flavor in there already, even though it's very young. And almost syrupy in there. It's sweet, it's fruity, a lot of dried fruits, plums, raisins, rounder than I expected. It smells a little bit like some fermented fruit as well, really fermented flavors as well. It really feels a little bit like raisins that have already been off a little bit with a little bit of alcohol in it already. Nice. Hefty stuff. It's really intense. 48% ABV is a really good kicker, but the flavor just transports a lot of oak. But it's not as spicy as I expected. I expected more of a spiciness. There are nuts, there are a lot of fruit in there, dried fruits, chocolate, like, but not as spicy as I was expected. I would have expected more spiciness from the oak, a little bit in the aftertaste now, but a lot less than I expected. I expected full force European oak spiciness. It's a nice little oak note, not a little, a good amount of oak note that is still comfortable, I would say. So yeah, Indian single malt whiskey is definitely a category on its own. It's, well, yeah, sub-equator global south whiskey is just aged differently than in the rainy north of Scotland. But it's definitely a sherry bomb that is, strangely enough, not as sticky sweet. Like, yeah, an Oloroso sherry bomb takes it pretty well. So, nice whiskey. If you can see one of them, if you see one of them, they are not as available. You can get them quite regularly, but they change because of Selected Cask, limited editions. So if you get one of these, they are definitely worth it. The whole range of Selected Cask is pretty well done. I've tried a few of them and they are really good. I think they had a bit of a design change going on there. Yeah. So that was it with my review of the Paul John Oloroso Selected Cask. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.